Hello everyone, this is Fadi and I want to welcome you back to a continuation of this brand new video series that we called fallacies or at least logical fallacies, I should say. And it deals with a number of claims our Muslim friends might make to you, and if you are not able to verify them or you're not familiar with that particular argument, you may assume that that claim is true. Last time we talked about what is called the Bibi paradigm, where a former minister, Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto made a claim that Islam is relevant simply because she herself is relevant in the 21st century. And you can go back to that episode and see how Dr. J responded to that claim in his debate with her at Oxford. Today we're going to talk about another argument, and in fact this one I would call it an emotional one, and this one has to do with the appeal to pity, victimization if you wish. With us here in studio to address this is Dr. J Smith. Dr. J, welcome back.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, this is one that comes up about halfway through the discussion. Once you start getting control of the discussion and you start winning the debate on the ground, they jump to this victimization mode and this appeal to pity. They'll say, okay, but why is it that we're always the one downtrodden? We're always been beat. This is coming out really quick right now on the whole Palestinian issue. The fact that there is genocide only in one side. The genocide is coming towards the Palestinians, and they have an entire corpus of videos that you've probably seen. I've been collecting them. It's called Pallywood. Pallywood are videos of children that are dying, and they're holding them in their arms, and the men are weeping and weeping, and then suddenly the child goes and scratches its leg, and it goes back to its. You can tell these are all false videos, but it's appeal to pity.
Right.
As if we are the ones that are being killed. We are the ones that are being massacred, which is true. They are being killed, and there are many people innocent who are dying on the battlefield, because this happens whenever you have urban warfare. But never the other side, and always trying to say that we are the only victims without looking and seeing who are the ones who usually are the victimizers, or the ones who are the perpetrators around the world. When you look and see just the sheer numbers, I just got back from Nigeria, and in Nigeria, we found out that 83% of all Christians that are killed worldwide by Muslims are killed in that one country, in Nigeria.
Wow.
In the last year alone. So you can see why, for those of us who are Christian, when they start taking this victimization as if to garner support from the audience, for me, that is not only a logical fallacy, it is one that usually, though it works for many, it has worked certainly in the United States, and it's worked in Europe amongst our university students. They have jumped on it, and they do believe that all the victims are the Palestinian people, without realizing what happens to their own people when they object. Or what about October 7th? Or were there no victims there? What about those who are still incarcerated and who are still hostages underground? So all of this is something that we need to nip in the bud. And it's difficult to do that because for so many people, it does become an emotional reaction by Christians. We don't realize that when you just look at the sheer numbers around the world, who are the victims? In almost every case, it is the Christians who are the victims, not the other way around. So this is a logical fallacy that needs to be nipped in the bud. We need to say something. Or just don't fall into that trap, and make sure they understand. If you're talking about victimization, let me just give you a few pointers. Let me just show you what's happening, even give an anecdote of your own personal experience, and you can do so more so than others because you have come as a Christian out of that environment.
Yeah, and so an example of that would be what? The appeal to pity, if you want to give us an example.
Probably the best one is the Palestinian issue right now.
Right.
Genocide, always genocide.
Exactly.
We're the ones who, genocide is being eradicated. We're being eradicated by genocide. When you look at everything that's happening on the ground, no, there is no genocide there. They're not out to kill civilians. Civilians do get caught up. That's called collateral damage, and it always happens, especially in urban warfare.
So both sides are losing, basically, people on account of this war, and yet one side makes it look to you as if they are the only exclusive victim.
Yeah, this happens in Britain when we were there all the time. Why is it that everybody hates Muslims? That's appeal to pity. And I was saying, wait a minute, where is this idea that everybody hates Muslims? Well, just look at the news. All your news broadcasts are anti-Muslim. And we did a survey just to see if this was correct. And we found out that just in British news alone, that 85% of news on Islam was actually favorable. Only 15% was unfavorable. But they make it look like everything is unfavorable towards them. The difficulty with that whole premise is much of the violence that's happening today is perpetrated by them. And if you're going to be a reporter, you've got to report that. So it comes across like there are certain areas that they can point to, and they'll always point the Palestinian issue as a case in point. But any other, or the Myanmar is the other one. The other one they like to, the Myanmar massacres, or Rohingya people in Myanmar.
Right.
They say, see, we're the victims here. Or the Uyghurs in China. Those are really the only three areas they can point to where they can legitimately say they are the victim, but there's a mass amount of perpetrating violence that they do. The other one that was probably was all over the news was the Christchurch massacre. When that happened in New Zealand, and this one fellow went and killed a number of Muslims in a mosque.
More than 50.
That was all over the papers, and it became almost a cause celebre to show that Christians are very violent. That's the only case they can ever point to. And yet there have been massacre after massacre, killing after killing. In Britain alone, look how many people have been killed by Muslims in the country, one country where they have been given every freedom. There have been no restrictions. It's the only country in Europe where there are no restrictions against Muslims. And yet look how many people have been killed by Muslims in Britain. Look at July 7th, 2005, where 52 were killed in London alone. I was there when that was going on. So this appeal to pity needs to be stopped, needs to be nipped in the bud, and needs to be shut down. And we need to say that orally and verbally. We need to say, no, if you want to talk about victimization, just look at the sheer numbers of those who have been killed. It hasn't been Muslims, it's been Christians.
Yeah. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Of course, the hope is that people will take us up on this offer to push back on these arguments, preferably, hopefully, through media as well. The problem is you have sometimes mainstream media who is on the side, or the wrong side in this case, and supporting those claims, and that gives even our Muslim friends a larger and broader platform that can confuse people. Yeah. What is the next one? We're
going to start with another appeal, and this is called appeal to popularity.
Yeah, appeal to popularity. So next time, of course, we will be talking about another fallacy, and hopefully you folks are taking notes of these fallacies one at a time and begin to reflect back on them. Ask yourself, have you ever had this argument before with a Muslim friend, or discussion, I should say? And if not, we're hoping that you will be well equipped now to be able to address it and deal with it, and like Dr. J says, put an end to it almost immediately. Until next episode, this is Fadi. God bless. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And ring the bell so you will be notified when we release new content. Our mission is to reach Muslims with the gospel of Jesus Christ and help Christians engage with their Muslim neighbors. If you want to join us in this life-changing work, please support us on patreon.com/CIRA International, or just click on the link below.